Joining me now from Pittsburgh, member of the Pennsylvania Air National Guard and congressional candidate for Pennsylvania's District 18, Luke Negron. Luke, the folks in Pittsburgh, here you have the President of the United States trying to almost single-handedly revive and keep alive the steel industry. Do the folks in the Steel City, the city of Pittsburgh, the city of the Pittsburgh Steelers, do they support what the Democrats are trying to do in impeaching him?
Well, you know what? It's great to be here today, and I don't think so. You know, Pittsburgh is a very centrist city. You don't have very many radicals on the left or the right in Pittsburgh. You have people who want to make money for their families, to make a living, and be left alone by the government. And that's kind of the American dream in the nutshell, right? Now, in Pittsburgh, you have people like Mayor Mike Peduto and of course, Mike Doyle, who I am running against, really continuing the Obama war on coal and on energy. And the question that has to be answered is, what are we going to do with those jobs? How are we going to replace those? And what is going to happen to our great workers locally who need to provide for their families and who rely on these resources and on the resources that they make for energy jobs?
Part and parcel to the climate change hoax, as the President of the United States might call it. District 18 is steel country. It is right there, heartbeat of steel country, Pittsburgh. Median income around $45,000 a year. It's a Democrat +3, means it leans slightly Democrat. As you mentioned, Mike Doyle represents the district right now. He has a Liberty score of F, 12%. Now, you were 2 years old when this guy first went to Congress, if my math is correct. How do you address the fact, well, first of all, we can talk about he should have been term limited a long time ago. We'll talk about that in a minute. But how do you address your, shall we say, lack of experience on planet Earth versus this guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think what we really need to address here is the expectation for American leaders. So as far as the lack of experience, we need to first look at America's deep-set history of valuing young professional leadership. We have people like Alexander Hamilton, Rutledge, Monroe, Declaration signers who entered into public office, such as advisors to George Washington, local leaders in their states, at ages much younger than myself. We have historically valued people who come up from the medical field, the law field, the military field, and after validating themselves as citizen leaders, they then move into politics based on necessity, as opposed to what we see with people like Doyle, who have gotten comfortable in their elitist ivory towers. They get into office, like you said, 1995, more than 2 decades ago. And then because of the lack of something like term limits, which my candidacy directly supports, we need term limits, they are left in office. And, you know, my opponent, Mike Doyle, he's got about the passion and presence of a melted ice cream cone. And the people of Pittsburgh know that. He doesn't represent them well. And that is a major issue. So we need to look to citizen leaders who can relate to the people and the populations that they grew up alongside.
You support term limits. You also want to tackle the national debt, which not a lot of people on Capitol Hill are talking about. We talk about it on this program constantly. On your website, though, something caught my eye. It's interesting the way you're wording this. It says reset, redeem, and reclaim. In 20 seconds, can you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. To reset, redeem, and reclaim politics means that politics has become corrupted. Politics has become a curse word, and politician has become an insult. We want to bring politicians back to a place of actually being statesmen and stateswomen, leaders who serve and support the citizenry around them, as opposed to lying to and using the citizenry around them, which is really what career politicians do, as opposed to statesmen and stateswomen.
That's good, Luke. You're very well spoken for your age, I have to say. I hope you have the support of the NRCC. I hope that the folks in Washington, D.C., the Republican leadership in Washington, D.C., are watching what you're trying to do. I hope that they give you their support. And if people on this program would like more information about what you are trying to bring to Washington, D.C., the website is Negron. That's Negron 2020, Negron2020.com. Luke, keep us informed. We'll check in with you a little bit later down the road. Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.